Janet Storey, who is a coordinator of Plastics Rebellion activist group, and she joins me live now from London. Janet, talk us through some of the challenges that face zero waste initiatives.
Okay, well, as you probably know, there's going to be a global treaty on plastics, and it needs to have sky-high ambitions when it comes to zero waste. Because at the table, at the negotiations, will be the big polluters. So you'll be seeing Unilever, Nestle, PepsiCo there, and they want to water down the ambition of the text. And it suits them to have recycling still at the top. And that is no substitute for a massive reduction and innovating reuse systems.
So with that in mind, what would be your everyday practical suggestions to people to reduce their waste rather than just ways of recycling waste we may have already generated?
Well, as an individual, I use a wooden toothbrush. I buy tinned food because I know tin is actually recyclable, unlike plastics. Only 9% of plastics gets recycled. Recycling is not going to fix the problem. But yeah, so the best thing people can do is actually try and use less plastic, but 8 billion people reducing their plastic intake is not going to do the job. We need robust legislation. The best thing you can do is, yes, buy a bamboo toothbrush, but really start badgering your government to do more, because our ambitions need to be much higher.
I wanted to ask that. Is there enough willingness from governments to do their part in this as well, or is that where you're facing quite a battle?
Well, in the UK, we have something called the UK Plastic Pact, which is very ambiguous. It gives out lofty ideals like 30% recycled content will be in single-use plastics by 2025. However, that means 70% of content is still going to be virgin plastic, and the industry is set to triple by 2060 unless we radically change things. We need a moratorium on new plastics. Maybe we can recycle a little bit of what we have left, but we need massive change. The ambitions need to be sky high for zero waste. That's why this day is so important.
From corporations, what kind of reaction are you getting? You know, in this world of online shopping, I mean, there is so much packaging being sent all around the world. How are corporations reacting?
Yeah, so Amazon are making some moves to reduce their plastic footprint. They're doing reasonably well. Supermarkets are a main culprit. They are responsible for a huge amount of this single-use packaging. They're basically still not doing enough. I think Bloomberg put a tracer in some soft plastic recycling from a British chain of supermarkets, and it was just followed, funnily enough, to you guys in Turkey, which we need to apologise for. Someone was, I think it was Frank, talking about waste colonialism. A lot of our recycling statistics are masked by the fact that we're still exporting waste to countries like Turkey and Southern Asia.
It's a good point. We have these governments that say that they have these ambitious recycling targets, but it might leave their country. It just ends up in another. Janet Storey, we really appreciate you highlighting these issues here on TRT World. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.